everybody, and welcome to Mike Cadaver's Horror Pub Trivia 2024 Halloween Special. I'm Mike Cadaver.
And I'm Betty Cadaver. And boy, am I excited to bust your brains with some Halloween-themed trivia. You know, it's my favorite time of the year. Get to wear sweaters, drink pumpkin spice, boil little children and sacrifice them to the Celtic deities. Just kidding! I like to do that part for fun.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to just skip that part, pretending that never happened. And I'm going to tell you what we've got for you. We've got 3 rounds of 10 questions, all about Halloween movies. And how does this all work, you ask?
Just your everyday trivia gorilla here. Here's how this all works. The idea of this is that you're in your favorite pub playing trivia with your friends. For each episode, we'll have 3 rounds of 10 questions. The rounds get harder, so if you're using our app, later rounds are worth more points. Speaking of the app, visit trivia.horrorpubtrivia.com. All the information you need is there. If you don't use the app, a regular pen and paper will work too. Other than that, prepare yourself for spoilers and have fun.
This first round is called Name That Movie, and it's a warm-up round. If you're playing along in the app at trivia.horrorpubtrivia.com, each right answer is worth 1 point.
So let's just get right into it, shall we?
Question number 1. What is the name of the film from 1986 that tells the story of the death and potential demonic rebirth of metal singer Sammy Kerr? Question number 2. What 2019 film is based on a series of children's books published between 1981 and 1991, which featured a series of short stories and included a set of hideous illustrations within? Question number 3. What 2003 horror film features a murderous family that insists that everyone put on their masks for dinner because we can't very well eat with our everyday faces exposed? Question number 4. What film from 2020 takes place in Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night and includes many cameos from characters that have been featured in earlier Adam Sandler films? Question number 5. What movie from 2013 with a retro look and feel presents a faux news program that includes one reporter's investigation of a local haunted house? Question number 6. In what 2014 found footage film does the audience follow a group of friends who are looking to experience haunted house attractions, including the Extreme Blue Skeleton experience? Question number 7. This 2014 film was directed by Adam Wingard and starred Dan Stevens and Micah Monroe. It is about a family whose brother/son passed away in combat. This family was subsequently surprised by a visit from the son's supposed combat buddy, named this movie. Question number 8. What British mockumentary was played live on BBC One on Halloween night in 1992 and attempted to present evidence of paranormal activity and included a poltergeist named Mr. Pipes? Question number 9. What 2019 film takes place in a haunted attraction in Carbondale, Illinois that promises to feed on customers' darkest fears and makes good on that promise by filling the attractions with murderous actors? Question number 10. What film from 2023 tells the story of a late-night talk show hosted by Jack Delroy from the strange happenings that occurred on the show on Halloween 1977?
Number 1. What is the name of the film from 1986 that tells the story of the death and potential demonic rebirth of metal singer Sammy Kerr? Trick or Treat. Eddie Weinbauer, or as his friends know him, Ragman, is a misunderstood teenager in the 80s, but weren't we all? His parents didn't understand him, his schoolmates bullied him, his only friend was a weird DJ with a very long tongue. I'm glad he got that early release of Sammy Kerr's album and heard Mr. Kerr giving satanic orders from the grave, because without it, we'd have been stuck with one pathetic loser. I joke. Honestly though, Fastway did the soundtrack. Fastway consisted of Fast Eddie Clark of Motorhead, Pete Way from UFO, and Flogging Molly vocalist Dave King. This movie was actually an excellent example of 80s horror and cheese. The only thing that could have made this better is if Blackie Lawless took the role of Sammy Kerr, which he was offered, but turned it down. What a bummer. Number 2. What 2019 film, based on a series of children's books, published between 1981 and 1991, which featured a series of short stories and included a set of hideous illustrations within? Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's not that this movie was bad, but it wasn't even a fraction as horrifying as the illustrations were the first time I saw them in my elementary school library. Quite honestly, the stories definitely were creepy. I definitely remember being scared by the likes of Me, Ty Dofty Walker, Harold, and the Bride, but it's crazy how panic-inducing these images were. These images made the stories from all 3 books in this series scary at a level that my kid brain could not even handle. Number 3. What 2003 horror film featured a murderous family that insists that everyone put on their masks for dinner because we can't very well eat with our everyday faces exposed? House of a Thousand Corpses.
Okay now, everybody put on your masks. Can't very well eat our desserts with our everyday faces exposed.
Full disclosure, I realize that this movie, along with all the other Rob Zombie films, are divisive within horror circles. I will admit that I love this movie along with many of his other films. I mean, I have a great memory of seeing this one in the theater in 2003. When we left, my wife at the time came out in tears. And, I mean, poor girl, but I still get a little LOL out of that one. This one is quirky, unique, and bizarre, but there's something that never made sense to me about this one, though. Why did Rob Zombie decide to add non-sequitur little diversions? For instance, the guy talking about how the skunk ape had impure relations with his wife, or the guy who exclaimed that we're already in hell. Well, I learned that these were filmed as parts of the book about the weird and quirky roadside attractions that Bill and Jerry were writing. I mean, weird way to incorporate them into the movie, but really, are we surprised since it comes from Rob Zombie? Number 4. What movie from 2020 takes place in Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night and includes many cameos from characters that have been featured in earlier Adam Sandler films. Hubie Halloween. I can't imagine watching and enjoying this one if you A, weren't already an Adam Sandler fan, and B, aren't very familiar with his movies. It's a cute family film about a kid who was bullied that was all wrapped up with a happy ending. It has a great Halloween atmosphere, and it really is a fun movie. That is, however, if you can handle the deluge of callbacks from Adam Sandler film alumni, making all those same callbacks to old Adam Sandler films. That's good by me. Number 5. What movie from 2013 with a retro look and feel presents a faux news program that includes one reporter's investigation of a local haunted house? WNUF Halloween Special. Complete with fake commercials and non-related phony news stories, the climax of this movie really sneaks up on you. The movie does a great job of presenting an authentic 80s look and feel. Because this movie is presented as a supposedly real evening newscast, the tone is light and fun. However, if you keep an eye on what's going on, the horror creeps up on you and it really comes through in the end. It's a great watch. Number 6. In what 2014 found footage film does the audience follow a group of friends who are looking to experience haunted house attractions all over the country, including the Extreme Blue Skeleton Experience? The house is October built. I've said it before on this show and I'll say it again. For some reason, I get the most real dread and or fear from found footage movies over any other kind of horror films, and this one is no different. I actually really like this one. I think it does a good job of building suspense throughout. The irony about this one is I cannot stand most of the characters. I really like the shots of the haunted attractions and being focused on the urban legend of Extreme Haunted House, where unspeakable events have occurred. It's a good one. Number 7. This 2014 film was directed by Adam Wingard and starred Dan Stevens and Micah Monroe. It is about a family whose brother/son passed away in combat. This family was subsequently surprised by a visit from the son's supposed combat buddy. Name this movie. The Guest. Before Adam Wingard was directing and Dan Stevens was starring in Godzilla x Kong, which opened up in almost 4,000 movie screens across the United States, Wingard directed and Stevens starred in 2014's The Guest. Micah Monroe was starring in a string of independent films, including It Follows, which was released the same year as The Guest. Question for you guys. Even though The Guest wasn't exactly a traditional horror movie, let alone a Halloween movie, Wingard presents it as such. Set during the Halloween season, set to dark synthwave and 80s sounding synth pop, and tense as all heck, this definitely belongs on everybody's Halloween to-watch list. Number 8. What British mockumentary was played live on BBC One on Halloween night in 1992 that attempted to present evidence of paranormal activity and included a poltergeist named Mr. Pipes? Ghostwatch. This film is similar to the WNUF Halloween special in that it's supposed to be a live broadcast. However, in the case of this movie, it's supposed to be a live BBC special where an evening has been given to 4 respected supernatural presenters in their investigation into the quote-unquote most haunted house in Britain. Much like the WNUF Halloween special, they get more than they bargained for. The main difference between the WNUF special and this is that this was actually played live on the BBC on Halloween night in 1992 without any warning from the television station that aired it that it was a hoax, a la the War of the Worlds from 1938. Number 9. What 2019 film takes place in a haunted attraction in Carbondale, Illinois that promises to feed on customers' darkest fears and makes good on that promise by filling the attraction with murderous actors? Haunt. I have to admit that I'm not a big fan of this one. The story starts out good enough with a group of young people going to check out a quote-unquote extreme haunted house. As they make their way through the haunt, they're presented with actors putting on different scenes of torture and murder. Unfortunately, in my opinion, that was all plagued with unlikable characters and cliche situations. That's not to say that it was all bad or that there were no good scenes, because there were. However, it's probably better to like the characters in a movie where you're supposed to be rooting for their survival. But what do I know? Number 10. What film from 2023 tells the story of a late-night talk show hosted by Jack Delroy and the strange happenings that occurred on his show on Halloween night in 1977? Late Night with the Devil. Apparently, there are a lot of Halloween movies about what happens on live TV on Halloween night. This one, however, wasn't made to fool the audience into thinking it actually happened. Starring Dave Dalmatian as the talented yet troubled late-night host, Jack Delroy, needing a big win for the future of his late-night talk show. He decides to have a child on the show that is purported to be possessed. Unfortunately, all hell breaks loose, and things do not go as planned. I'm a huge fan of Dalmatian, even though I can't pronounce his last name, but I am a huge fan. I really think that he is one of us when it comes to being a horror person. I really enjoyed this movie. Deeper than it seems by the description, this is definitely one that I already have in my collection.
Can't be the real thing.
Welcome to Hull House.
According to the legend, it's not haunted. It's possessed. Gateway to hell.
Where this Halloween, Angela's planning one hell of a party. Come, a night filled with tricks and deadly treats. Night of the Demons 3.
Hello, kiddies. Crypt Keeper here, Master of Ceremonies at Universal Studios' all-new Halloween Horror Nights. With new haunted houses to die for, you'll make some new fiends, play a starring role in a killer show, and lots more.
Don't miss the last 2 weekends of terror. Florida residents save. Advance tickets just $22 at Ticketmaster with a 2-liter Pepsi label.
Party with me at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. You'll dig it.
When I think of movies for the Halloween season, one series that comes straight to mind is the Night of the Demons series.
You know, that's funny because it's exactly what I think about when applying makeup.
What does that even mean?
You know, the Scream Queen, Linnea Quigley. Haven't you seen her put makeup on?
Have you seen how she applies makeup in the movie, sweetheart?
Yeah, I've watched it 3 times with you.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse, actually, so... Let's get into it. I like this.
I know, I saw it.
Let's leave it, that's good.
Okay.
Question number 1. What is the name of the house that the kids party in the original Night of the Demons from 1988? Question number 2. In the 2009 remake of Night of the Demons, who plays Angela? Question number 3. What kind of mask does Stooge wear to the party? Question number 4. In one of the weirdest brother/sister interactions in film history, what does Billy say to his sister as he emerges from her closet? Question number 5. In the beginning of the original Night of the Demons, Stooge moons an old man. This man is coming back with some groceries with the intent to do what? Question number 6. What famous scream queen distracts a couple of convenience store clerks with her panties? Question number 7. Who directed the original Night of the Demons? Question number 8. In Night of the Demons 2, what is the name of the actress who plays Terry, who in real life is married to Ben Stiller? Question number 9. What band song, Stigmata Martyr, is playing during Angela's sexy dance in the original Night of the Demons? Question number 10. Who plays Angela in the original Night of the Demons?
Number 1. What is the name of the house that the kids party in the original Night of the Demons from 1988? Hull House. Hull House is an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. No running water, electricity, but none of that matters when it comes to horny teens trying to party and bang. These kids don't even seem to be bothered by the legend that the last occupants were brutally murdered, and the case sits unsolved to this day. Ha ha ha! The name of this was so confusing to me because back in 1990, 2 years after this was released, there was a show called Hull High on TV. And for some reason, my young brain made a connection between the two, and for years I wondered what this movie had to do with a musical high school drama that really sucked. Anyway, I'm older now and finally I understand. Number 2. In the 2009 remake of Night of the Demons, who plays Angela? Shannon Elizabeth. If we're comparing the original to the remake, there's no doubt that Shannon Elizabeth is exponentially hotter than Amelia Kincaid. But like the rest of the remake, she just doesn't quite seem to fully fit the character and feeling of the original film. Other than using Type O Negative on the soundtrack, the remake falls short on all points compared to the original. That's not, however, to say that it's a piece of crap. It stars Edward Furlong, Diora Baird, Monica Keenan, and Tiffany Shepis. This definitely has its high points. I'd liken the comparison to the original being a ribeye cooked medium to the remake as a Wendy's Jr. bacon cheeseburger. Every once in a while you just want to spend a buck and enjoy the junk. Number 3. What kind of mask does Stooge wear to the party? A pig nose. Maybe a little too on the nose, lol. Having Stooge wear this pig nose seemed to describe everything about him. I, however, love Hal Haven's character. He's the guy we love to hate in these 80s movies. I wonder how he even has any friends in this movie, since he treats everyone like garbage. Just like everyone else, he gets his, but not before being one of my favorite characters and one of the most annoying characters in this movie. Number 4. In one of the weirdest brother/sister interactions in film history, what does Billy say to his sister as he emerges from her closet? Wow, bodacious boobies, sis. Honestly, this is one of the strangest lines in any movie I've ever seen. I mean, when I watch it now, because when I saw this for the first time, I absolutely agreed with him. Donnie Jeffcoat, who was around 12 or 13 at the time, was just 1 year older than I was when we got to see Kathy Podwell's bodacious boobies. I guess it makes sense, however, looking back and watching 80s horror movies today, there are just so many lines/scenes/actions that just seem so out of place and inappropriate now. Oh well, I hope people regret nothing about the hilarious and strange and awkward stuff they put in those movies back then, because life wouldn't be the same without them.
Wow, bodacious boobies, sis. If you keep on going, you'll have to hire someone just to tie your shoes. Ow!
Number 5. In the beginning of the original Night of the Demons, Stooge moons an old man. This man is coming back with some groceries with the intention to do what? Put razor blades in the apples and give to kids. The older I get, the more I understand this old man. If you've seen the movie, you know that this guy is just sick and tired of dealing with all the degenerates that live in his neighborhood. I won't be too shocked that in 40 years I'm buying apples, putting blades in them and giving them away to trick-or-treaters, assuming that the government will still allow us to trick-or-treat in the future. Quick question though, and this might be a slight spoiler, but how come when his idea backfired and his wife made an apple pie with the apples that he booby-trapped, he was able to eat the pie and the blades didn't cut his neck until he realized it? Well, we'll probably never know. Number 6. What famous scream queen distracts a couple of convenience store clerks with her panties? Linnea Quigley. Do you have sour balls? Too bad, I bet you don't get too many blowjobs. What an unforgettably hilarious scene by Linnea Quigley. She's made a career of being in unforgettably hilarious scenes, some good, some not so good. But this one isn't even her best moment of this movie, but it's still amazing. There's a much more bizarre scene that stars her, and if you've seen it, I know you know what I'm talking about. Number 7. Who directed the original Night of the Demons? Kevin Tenney. Kevin Tenney has to be one of my favorite writers and directors of schlock. He's had his hand in so many of the films that I brought home for my weekly trips to the video rental store back in the old days. Titles like Witchboard, Witch Trap, Witchboard 2, Witchboard 3, and some other films that don't even have the word witch in the title. Number 8. In Night of the Demons 2, what is the name of the actress who plays Terry, who in real life is married to Ben Stiller? Christine Taylor. On the last season of this show, we did a trivia round all about Hollywood A-listers who started in horror movies. This wasn't Christine Taylor's first IMDb credit, but it was a step up from one episode of the Nickelodeon show Hey Dude, where she starred as Melody, or as one episode of Saved by the Bell, where she starred as Heather. This came out a year before she found her breakout role when she played Marcia in the Brady Bunch movie in 1995. As of this writing, she hasn't found her way back into horror, but she claims to be a big horror movie fan and is always up for talking about her role in Night of the Demons 2. Number 9. What band's song, Stigmata Martyr, is playing during Angela's sexy dance in the original Night of the Demons? Bauhaus. Oh man, Bauhaus. Having grown up in the 80s, it was always the rockers against the quote-unquote new wavers. I don't even know if it was called post-punk back then. However, we could both agree the fact that the goths were as annoying as a group could be. Bauhaus didn't have a long career, but in the time they had, they created the ultimate goth/post-punk anthem, if you can call it that, Bela Lugosi's Dead. Their very first single, actually. It was recorded 6 weeks after their formation on January 26, 1979. Well, as boring as it is atmospheric, it always boggled my mind as to why it seemed like, to this day, that Bela Lugosi's Dead is more popular than some of their other songs, like Stigmata Martyr. Released on the album In the Flat Field in 1980, this song scores one of the most mesmerizing and important scenes in the original Night of the Demons. Number 10. Who plays Angela in the original Night of the Demons? Amelia Kincaid. Speaking of Stigmata Martyr and one of the most important and mesmerizing scenes in Night of the Demons, I believe that the reason it had such an impact on the film and on horror fans is the fact that Amelia Kincaid as Angela dances seductively as a preamble for all hell breaking loose at Hull House. Amelia was a trained dancer majoring in modern dance from the Interlochen, I probably butchered that, Arts Academy in Michigan. Shortly after, she moved to Los Angeles, studying acting at the Creative Acting Workshop under acting coaches such as Robert Lewis and Lillian Chauvin. I'll be danged if she wasn't built for this role. Night of the Demons may have been a humbly budgeted schlocky horror film, but because of actors like Linnea Quigley and Amelia, it's obviously become a cult classic and a perennial Halloween viewing experience for many around the world.
Ever hear of a gift certificate that turns into a soft drink? Oh, it can happen this Halloween. When you give out McDonald's Halloween gift certificates, kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, what is that? A book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1 and can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Nobody.
I'm Freddy Krueger, and you're invited to my special get-together. But beware, you may never leave. Dial this number now. I've got some grisly details for you. And if you're one of my lucky callers selected at random, you'll talk to me live while you're awake and safe. So dial this number now if you dare. Talk to me live. Freddy Krueger is waiting just for you.
$2 for the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute.
Do you know why we celebrate Halloween? A long, long time ago, it was a night of great power. When the days grew short, all across the land, huge bonfires were lit. Oh, there was a marvelous celebration, and they dressed up in costumes, hoping to ward off the evil spirits, especially the boogeyman.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
Can you believe it? We're already at the beginning of round 3. And what respectable horror pub trivia show wouldn't have a whole round dedicated to the granddaddy of all of them? John Carpenter's Halloween.
You mean the movie that made us question being babysitters?
And smoking weed and having premarital sex. And
I know we're not talking about the same franchise.
you know what? Maybe we're not. But I will say this. They all kind of get lumped in together. To be honest with you, I know that if you're talking about that one series, Friday the 13th, you look at that guy, you tell him, hey, did you rip off Halloween? He won't even bat an eye. And, whatever. But I will say one thing. There is plenty of degenerate crap to fill up innumerable sleazy slashers, and none of them will go stale.
Like they all weren't stale anyways.
Let's get into it.
Question number 1. In Halloween H2O from 1998, who played Ronnie, the security guard? Question number 2. In what city were Halloween parts 4, 5, and 6 filmed? Question number 3. In Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, what is the name of the druidic curse that drives someone to kill his/her family on Halloween? Question number 4. In Halloween Resurrection from 2002, what was the name of Freddie Harris's Busta Rhymes internet reality show called? Question number 5. What actress played Jamie Lloyd in the original series and Annie Brackett in Rob Zombie's remake? Question number 6. Who plays the child Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's 2007 remake of Halloween? Question number 7. Who plays the grown-up Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's 2007 remake of Halloween? Question number 8. In Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, who played the role of Michael Myers? This person also had a part in Silent Night, Deadly Night and played Nakoma in the life and times of Grizzly Adams. Question number 9. What is the profession of Annie Brackett's father? Question number 10. In Halloween Kills, what chant does Tommy Doyle, Anthony Michael Hall, lead the townspeople in after he gives a nice pep talk at the hospital?
Number 1. In Halloween H2O from 1998, who played Ronnie the security guard? LL Cool J. First of all, I better mention that LL Cool J's Ronnie was a romance novelist waiting for his big break and biding his time as a security guard in this movie. LL Cool J himself was already a multi-platinum selling and Grammy award-winning hip-hop artist by the time he starred in Halloween H2O. He did a great job in this role as a very likable security guard who has to put up with a bunch of rich boarding school brats. This isn't his first acting credit on IMDb either, but it's one of his first where he doesn't play himself. He's since gone on to many different acting roles, including over 330 episodes of NCIS. Number 2. In what city were Halloween Parts 4, 5, and 6 filmed? Salt Lake City. My hometown, Salt Lake City. I want to start out by telling you how awful it is here and you don't ever want to move here. And just make sure that you remember that. Much of Halloween 4 and 5 was filmed in the Avenues and Capitol area just north of downtown Salt Lake City. Older houses and more atmospheric streets worked perfectly to portray Haddonfield, Illinois. There were some other scenes filmed around the different areas of Salt Lake City as well, but the main parts were right outside downtown Salt Lake. Number 3. In Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, what is the name of the druidic curse that drives someone to kill his or her family on Halloween? The Curse of Thorn. The thing about some of these Halloween sequels is that they really tried, maybe misguidedly, to add some spice to the mythos. Rob Zombie wasn't the only one to attempt to add some backstory to the lore. In Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers from 1995, the Curse of Thorn is revealed to be a mystic runic symbol based on a namesake constellation Thorn that could appear during the ancient feast called Samhain or Samhain or however you say it, the holiday that's now known as All Hallows Eve or simply Halloween. To prevent mass death among the tribes, one family was chosen to bear the curse. This curse would require the bearer to sacrificially murder his or her entire family, which in turn would spare their entire community from events such as plague and drought. This curse also explains why Michael Myers seems to have superhuman strength and is very difficult if not impossible to kill. Well, never fear. Nobody remembers this one, like at all. Number 4. In Halloween Resurrection from 2002, what was the name of Freddie Harris's, Busta Rhymes' internet reality show? Dangertainment. Listen, I understand that Halloween Resurrection wasn't necessarily a good movie, and I'm fully aware of this. However, I love Busta Rhymes' role in it. He's loud, brash, and hilarious. Also, this is an amazing time capsule of what was going on in the early 2000s. For my money, it doesn't get better than Busta Rhymes kicking the crap out of Michael Myers with the shovel and using his kung fu moves on him, the whole time talking crap to one of the most prolific killers of all time. Number 5. What actress played Jamie Lloyd in the original series and Annie Brackett in Rob Zombie's remake? Danielle Harris. A popular answer so far in our little horror pub trivia show, Danielle Harris has become an honest-to-goodness scream queen. This all started in 1988 when she starred in Halloween 4 as the adorable Jamie Lloyd, the niece of Michael Myers and daughter to Laurie Strode, a storyline, by the way, that has since been stricken from the record when it comes to some of the later sequels. Number 6. Who plays the child Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's 2007 remake of Halloween? Daeg Faerch, F-A-E-R-C-H. Let me run something by you people. What if, just what if, we could enjoy Rob Zombie's Halloween on its own? Not comparing it to the original. I mean, maybe it's its own thing that can be enjoyed separately. Well, that's bullcrap because it's not. It's called Halloween, it has a serial killer named Michael Myers, and maybe the most indicative fact that these movies are related is that they're both part of this round of trivia. I do, however, like the remake. I am a Rob Zombie fan, like I've said before, and sometimes I apologize for it. And I enjoyed this one very much. However, I do not feel the same about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie was redeemed, however, when Halloween Ends was released in 2022. What's your take on it? Number 7. Who plays the grown-up Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's 2007 remake of Halloween? Tyler Mane. I believe that Daeg Faerch, the mopey product of an unhappy home, could grow into a nice and healthy 6'9" killing machine. Mane creates an absolutely menacing countenance when it comes to playing Michael Myers. Obviously, Zombie didn't share the same philosophy as Carpenter had when it comes to showing the blood and gore. Come to think of it, Zombie didn't share much of anything when it came to Halloween films, choosing to dig deep into the psyche of Michael as opposed to presenting him as an unknown evil. Number 8. In Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, who played the role of Michael Myers? This person also had a part in Silent Night, Deadly Night, and played Nakoma in The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams. Don Shanks. Don Shanks is an actor and stuntman with over 100 actor and stuntman credits on IMDb. He lives here in Salt Lake City, or else I guess I haven't checked on that lately, but he at least lived here, and has had many roles for films that were filmed here. Personally, he's a very humble and gracious man. Case in point, around 2010, there was a horror film festival here, and he was one of the guests of honor. I had the pleasure of having a conversation with him until we were interrupted by an obnoxious, inebriated guy who just had to tell him how much he loved his role as Jason Voorhees and how he loved his acting in that movie. Mr. Shanks just thanked the man graciously, and then we continued our conversation. We did have a good chuckle about it, but he didn't make a stink. Number 9. What is the profession of Annie Brackett's father? Sheriff of Haddonfield. Played by Charles Cyphers in the original Halloween, he may not have been the best man for the job. I mean, we've all seen the meme. Unfortunately, Mr. Cyphers just recently passed away August 5th of this year, 2024. He passed away at the ripe old age of 85. but not until after accruing 100 acting credits on IMDb, including playing Sheriff Lee Brackett in Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween Kills. Number 10. In Halloween Kills, what chant does Tommy Doyle, Anthony Michael Hall, lead the townspeople in after he gives a nice pep talk at the hospital? Evil dies tonight. Speaking of Halloween Kills, it was nice to see Anthony Michael Hall cast to play Tommy Doyle. In this installment, he's taken on the mantle of an improvised leader in the hunt for Michael Myers. He actually gets together a posse in Haddonfield. And if there's something we know about posses in Haddonfield, is that they're ready to fight with anything they have, and they have a nice, powerful motto they can chant. Evil dies tonight was a chant of choice in this film, and boy did they run it into the ground. I actually enjoyed this movie when it's all said and done, but dang, that got a little annoying. Alright guys, there you have it. Mike and Cadaver's 2024 Halloween special. Thank you so much for joining us.
We hope you have a great and safe season.
Check your candy before you bring it home and start downing it, if you know what I mean.
You never know what old man's gonna put razor blades in your apples.
That was rude as hell. Anyway, make sure to go visit horrorpubtrivia.com and you can see news about this show. Go to corpsecollective.com and see all the other projects we're working on.
We'll see you in season 3 coming soon.
It's coming right up in a couple months. You gotta give me a little bit of time, okay? Well, we'll catch you guys later.
Put it, you seem to fall back again. That was the spirit.